Welcome to the first installment of an exciting and impactful series, headed by Professor Hope Megademisha, the esteemed chair for the South African Research Chairs Initiative for Inclusive Cities, based at the University of KwaZulu-Natal. This episode marks the beginning of the newly launched series aimed at exploring the critical issues surrounding the creation of inclusive cities. The first episode of the series, titled Building Inclusive Cities Embracing Disabilities in Urban Spaces. This episode is thoughtfully put together by Ms. Kiara Rampal, a dedicated doctor research student. Now that the stage is set, it's time to step in and explore the heart of the first episode. The heart of inclusive city building, where every step forward is a step towards a more equitable future. Picture the bustling streets of our South African cities, cities rich in diversity and culture. Amidst the vibrant energy, there lies a challenge: how do we ensure that our urban spaces are welcoming and accessible to all, including those living with disabilities? So what are inclusive cities? Inclusive cities are urban areas designed to be accessible and welcoming to everyone, regardless of their physical abilities, age, gender, or socioeconomic status. They ensure that all residents can participate fully in the life of the city, from accessing public services and transportation to enjoying recreational spaces. By prioritizing inclusivity, cities become more vibrant, equitable, and sustainable. At the core of inclusive cities are key principles that guide their development, such as universal design, equitable access, flexibility, simple and intuitive use, perceptible information, tolerance for error, and low physical effort. Creating inclusive cities is not just a matter of fairness. It's essential for social and economic vitality. Inclusive cities foster greater social cohesion by bringing diverse communities together, enhance the quality of life for all residents, making the city more enjoyable and livable, boost economic growth by enabling more people to participate in the workforce and contribute to the economy, and promote sustainability by encouraging the use of public spaces and transportation, reducing the need for individualized solutions. While many cities are celebrated for their inclusive design and accessibility features, the reality for people with disabilities can be quite different. Often, there is a gap between perceived inclusivity and the everyday experiences of disabled individuals. Let's explore why and how these challenges persist, even in cities considered to be inclusive. In many cities, inclusive design principles are not consistently applied. You might find a well-designed accessible entrance to a building, but the surrounding infrastructure, like sidewalks and public transportation, may still be inaccessible. This inconsistency can make navigating the city difficult and frustrating for people with disabilities, limiting their independence and mobility. Even when inclusive features are present, hidden barriers can undermine their effectiveness. For example, tactile paving for the visually impaired might abruptly end or lead to obstacles, making it challenging to navigate safely. These hidden barriers are often overlooked in the planning and maintenance of urban spaces. One of the most significant challenges is the lack of direct input from people with disabilities in the planning and design process. Inclusive cities must actively involve disabled individuals in decision-making to ensure that their needs are genuinely met. Regular feedback and user experience evaluations are crucial for identifying and addressing issues that may not be apparent to those without disabilities. Bridging the gap between perceived inclusivity and the actual experiences of people with disabilities requires a holistic approach. This means consistent implementation of inclusive design principles, proper maintenance, awareness and training, economic support, and active involvement of disabled individuals in planning processes. By addressing these challenges, cities can move closer to becoming truly inclusive and accessible for everyone. So, what exactly is inclusive design? Inclusive design is a process that aims to ensure that spaces, products, and services are accessible to and usable by as many people as possible, regardless of their age, ability, or circumstance. At its core, inclusive design is about creating environments that cater to the diverse needs of all users. Imagine a city where every individual, regardless of their abilities, can navigate freely and comfortably. This is the vision behind inclusive design, creating environments that are usable by everyone. At the heart of this approach lies the concept of universal design. Universal design is about designing spaces and products that are inherently accessible to everyone without the need for adaptation or specialized design. It's a proactive approach that anticipates the needs of a diverse population from the outset. Now, let's look at some examples of universal design in practice 1. Curb cuts. Originally designed for wheelchair users, curb cuts also benefit parents with strollers, travelers with luggage, and even cyclists. 2. Tactile paving. These ground surface indicators help visually impaired individuals navigate public spaces safely. 3. Accessible public restrooms. These facilities include features like wider doors, grab bars, and lower sinks, making them usable for people with various disabilities. Inclusive design transforms cities into places where everyone can participate and thrive. By embracing universal design principles, we create environments that are not only accessible but also welcoming and empowering. Thoughtful design builds communities that celebrate diversity and ensure that no one is left behind. True inclusivity in urban design is an ongoing journey. By understanding and implementing the principles of universal design, maintaining infrastructure, raising awareness, and involving people with disabilities in the planning process, we can bridge the gap between perception and reality. Together, we can build cities that are truly inclusive for everyone. As we conclude our journey through the concept of inclusive cities, it's clear that creating environments where everyone can thrive requires commitment, collaboration, and continuous effort. The South African Research Chair for Inclusive Cities Initiative is dedicated to making this vision a reality. Inclusive cities are more than just accessible buildings and public spaces. They represent a commitment to equity, diversity, and social integration. While challenges remain, understanding and addressing the gap between perceived and real inclusivity is crucial. It requires listening to the voices of those directly impacted by urban design decisions, people with disabilities, and ensuring their needs are at the forefront of city planning. This approach not only improves accessibility but also enriches the urban experience for everyone. Ultimately, the power to create inclusive cities lies in the hands of the community. When residents, planners, policymakers, and advocates come together with a shared vision of inclusivity, transformative change becomes possible. Join us in this vital mission. Whether you're a city planner, policymaker, educator, or community member, your role in advocating for and implementing inclusive design is invaluable. Together, we can build cities that reflect the diverse needs and aspirations of all their residents, ensuring a more just and equitable future for everyone. Together, we can make a difference.